Hello guys, today I have Crazy Nicks on my channel, Nikhil. Nikhil thinks cricket 24/7. He's a champion in fantasy cricket. He is a supportive and humble person, and he has lots of knowledge about cricket. So today we are going to discuss India versus Sri Lanka series, England versus India Test series, and talking about India's squad for World T20. So Nikhil, welcome to my channel.
थैंक यू सो मच. कितने झूठ बोले यार स्टार्टिंग में, बट ठीक है, इट्स ओके. लेट्स गो अहेड.
Okay, so are you ready?
यस सर, ऑल सेट.
Okay. So first of all, I want to ask about ODI series. If we talk about India's tour of England, where India's tour of Sri Lanka was man of the match. But what I saw that he didn't converted his starts. He was scoring 50 those two centuries. In second ODI, he could have finished the game, but he got out. So what's the problem with Sri?
I think that can happen. It is probably just his second international tour. I think a lot of cricket, but that doesn't mean that Kohli scores in every game or Rohit scores in every game. Yes, what every batsman will ideally want to convert a good start, especially on those kind of pitches, and the batting lineup that India had, which is why we saw in the T20 also that he gave also is to get to that big score and see the game off or make it very easy for the guys coming in. So I don't think there is any problem as such. But yes, you would always want a perfect batting performance from anyone.
Okay. So now I want to talk about a fast bowling pool. If we look at a fast bowlers, owners were Deepak Chahar, he was also good. But if we talk about other fast bowlers who are in India's pool,
are not able to take wickets in power play.
I think it is. I think we've talked about this before, and I think it is something that will have to be addressed very soon. And the problem is not with any. I don't think it's a. That speed is not going to trouble anyone if there is no swing. So Bhuvi also looked a bit rusty. I don't know rusty if rusty is the right word, but he also looked a bit off. Yes, he got better and better as the games went on, but even he looked. But India's tried Shami, India's tried Bumrah. Obviously, Bumrah is India's strike bowler, but they have all struggled over the last 2 years because they've not been able to spinners to strike. But if the spinners are going to bowl to a set batsman, it is obviously going to make their job tougher. And if they are not in form, then you are literally relying on only chance. Aapka naseeb for you to get back in the game with the bowling. So it is something that I'm sure the team management will look into. Because new ball wickets are very critical for the way India is set up as a bowling side.
Okay. So even if we talk about our spinners, there is Kuldeep for full 10 overs. But other than four spinners whom you are seeing that who can bowl for 10 overs and they can give their audition for next ODI World Cup, which is going to happen in India.
I think the ODI World Cup is very far away. For now, the first preference will be the T20 World Cup and the World Cup following that. And we've seen Kuldeep Yadav do better than what he has done. He never actually got enough chances, despite the one series against England. So I think those and Kuldeep, I don't know. I might be wrong, but I did not see enough from Varun Chakravarti to say that he should be starting ahead of any of the other three primarily. But you will want him to strike on such decks, which is possible. So out of those four, I think those four may say India will probably pick 2 or 3 depending on the conditions.
Okay. So now coming on to T20s, I was expecting some good knocks from Samson and Rana. And if we talk about Nitish Rana, he got 2 opportunities in second T20. But I think Nitish Rana could have done better here. He's playing IPL from 5 seasons now.
What we have to always realize is whenever there are new guys coming in, those new guys are always brought in with the cushion of a lot of set batsmen. And with set batsmen, I mean experienced ones. So, which is why you never see so many debuts on a tour just like that. No team does it because it's not easy. There is a reason why international cricket is hard. There is a reason why we have so many domestic stars all around the world who are not able to convert those into international performances. With Nitish Rana or with, say, Sanju Samson, I'll say Sanju Samson aside for a minute. That is not very bad. That is not his role. So if he's going to start versus spin on that kind of attack, in that kind of a pressure, then India is something that Rana is used to do. He's used to open, he's used to batting at 3. So अगर आप एंड्रॉइड यूज करते हो या आईफोन यूज करते हो और अपने आप में आप एंड्रॉइड लेके आपको कोई अलग लैंग्वेज का फोन दे दो, विल यू बी कंफर्टेबल यूजिंग इट? ऑब्वियसली नॉट, यू विल टेक टाइम. बट इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट में वो टाइम नहीं होता. 2 महीने चले, 3 महीने चले, you still have enough time to come back. There are 14 games. But in international cricket, people are there. They are just there at you all the time. So it's not easy for them to come. And you have to remember the second and third T20, the team was not at all balanced. आप आउट हो जाए तो आपके पास शायद 15-20 रन भी ना बने, because the rest of the batting lineup does not just bat. They can only hold the bat, that's it. And it is not their fault. उनका काम बैटिंग करना नहीं है, बैटिंग करना काम बैट्समैन का है. तो यहाँ पे it was just because of the situation that India got themselves into, and obviously nobody can. आप अगर बाहर जाएं तो bowlers तो लेके जाएं, लेकिन बैट्समैन भी लेके जाएं, और बैट्समैन वैसे लेके जाएं जो हर एक स्लॉट का रिप्लेसमेंट हो. So that ऐसा कोई situation है, obviously this is rare, it's not going to happen very often. This is all that you'll get. And Sanju Samson, I don't know, I might be expecting a lot out of him, but I personally, you cannot go and tell that I played on tougher decks and which is why I did not come off, which is fine. Everybody can have a bad series. But the problem is when you have a bad series, when it is probably one of your only, it makes that your job that much harder. And what you have to realize, ये सारे बंदे अब जाएंगे IPL में जो होंगे ऐसे slow decks पे. So it is either going to play on their minds, or they'll actually just they'll go and talk to the senior guys in the batting, in the entire setup. So Nitish Rana can go to a Morgan or a DK or anyone for that matter, and have that more information that okay, if such a deck comes up, if I'm playing on such a deck, what are the kind of shots I should play? What are the kind of areas I should definitely not look to hit the ball? तो ये सब चीजें आपको शिखर धवन जैसा player in the second T20 he was attempting reverse sweep. शिखर धवन reverse sweep नहीं खेलता. I who's played so many years of cricket, if he could not back his normal natural game, then you have to imagine to a situation where they were not even expecting to play. So obviously you are excited, you want to do well, but अगर pitch tough है सामने, और श्रीलंका का bowling attack बहुत अच्छा है. This is an international quality bowling attack. They are not missing any bowlers. So they did not have answer, which is fine. It will happen. But for Sanju Samson, it was a lot more of a miss. And Nitish Rana, I'll not blame him at all. It's not his fault. It's just very hard start. Everybody started hard in Sri Lanka. KL Rahul didn't have a good time. Akila Dhananjay troubled him a lot when he started in the middle order. Nitish Rana to space out of the, but it's a hard place to start if the conditions are tough.
Okay. So talking about Chetan Sakariya now, Chetan Sakariya after performing in just 7 matches. So it was good or it was a bad decision, or India could have just now. Chetan Sakariya selected only by playing 7 matches. So was it a good decision?
I don't. And obviously, you would have thought that Harshdeep is probably higher in the pecking order, but there is definitely something that they saw in Sakariya that they thought was not there with Harshdeep Singh. I don't think new ball. Not sure if they decided on the death overs performance over the last year or so. So it is a very dicey call. It's a subjective call. Obviously, they have seen something, but which is why Harshdeep was a neck bowler and Chetan Sakariya got a debut. So it is too early to say whether who should have debuted first. But in the long run, I see both men go. We've seen Saran come and go. So if the players do not find solutions for themselves in this competitive pool that India has right now, so whoever makes the debut first, the bowler just has to grow and grow. If Arshdeep puts him as the net bowler, and Chetan Sakariya as a poor IPL, you may see him not even being in the squad.
So now talking about India's World T20 squad, I was thinking that which spinners can get their chance, and that will India pick Shikhar Dhawan or Ishan Kishan for their third opener. So please some quick answers from you. I'm expecting some quick answers, like I'm asking Shikhar Dhawan or Ishan Kishan, so just one word answer.
And none of them. Rahul and Rohit open. Virat Kohli is your backup.
And will India pick Shreyas Iyer in their squad?
They'll probably have him in the squad because he was there and he's not done anything wrong to get out because of an injury. So he will be there in the squad.
Okay, and what about Mohammad Shami? Will he get a chance in team?
Depends on the IPL. We'll have to see how he goes. It will obviously be on the radar, but it depends on what kind of combination India want to go. They'll have Natarajan, they'll have Bumrah for sure as the two pacers, and then you have a lot of even sakariya now. So and Budi as well. So let's see.
Okay, so Deepak Chahar or Shardul Thakur or
both of them offer very difficult. Can give you some handy runs with the bat, sticky wickets. He can run.
I was talking about India's tour of England 5-match test series. So what will be playing 11 according to you? Will India pick 2 spinners, 3 pacers which played in WT's final, or there will be any change?
I think it'll probably just be one more pacer in place of a spinner all rounder. The decision will have to be between Ashwin and Jadeja, depending on the pitch. If they think the pitch is dry enough and it will take turn from day 3 onwards, then they'll probably play the same team with the one change at the top because Gill is ruled out. So I think it all depends on what kind of pitch we have. In last and the 100 games, we've seen the pitch is a bit slow. So it depends on the surface actually. And the rest of the guys pick themselves. I don't think there should be any other change there.
Okay. So if Ashwin Jadeja is there, so whom will you pick, Ashwin or Jadeja?
It's a very tough call because Jadeja gives you runs with the bat while Ashwin is a better bowler in terms of getting you more wickets, which we saw in the WTC final. So I don't know. It probably, given that India's strength should be their bowling, I'd probably pick Jadeja as a defensive option. Ashwin is a more attacking option to take, but Jadeja just gives me enough cushion with the bat. Even if they are 105 or 6, which is likely to happen, he can do a Sankaran.
Okay. So when India last time toured England, Virat Kohli and Jasprit Bumrah were in outstanding form. Virat Kohli and Jasprit Bumrah are not in good form this time. So that could prove a difference for Team India.
Yeah, I think the last time that was the reason why India did not win the series, because they only had 2 of the guys doing at their best. As we discussed in the previous call as well, that India will need their seniors to step up, and both Kohli and Bumrah have not been at their best in terms of getting a lot of wickets and scoring centuries. Like, it's been almost too long that we've had Kohli not score a century. But again, the century is not that important. It's getting that good 50-60 ka start that sets up the base for the team to then have 250-300 regularly on this tour. We don't know what conditions are going to be, but the Duke's ball is going to do a lot. So it depends massively on how the 3, 4, 5 for India perform. If they don't perform, I'm going to be very honest, India don't have a chance.
Okay. So India will be opening with Rohit Sharma and Mayank Agarwal. But if any one of them fails for continuity in 4 matches, do you think they will be replacing him with Prithvi Shaw, not Abhimanyu Iswaran?
I don't know if that's the right way to go about this, because you have Iswaran as your designated test match, Abhimanyu as a test match backup opener. So in that order, he should be the guy who gets the first preference. Shaw's technique versus the moving ball, I don't know much about technique, but it does not look like, he'll come off versus James Anderson and Stuart Broad. He can come off, he can give you a 60 in 30 balls. Obviously, he can do that. But the chances of that happening are, both you and me, it's not that practically possible to see that happening regularly. So I hope they go in that route. Hopefully we see both the openers get all 4 tests, all the 5 tests, because it's not easy to open in England, and you will obviously get good balls at the start. So I'm hoping at least both the openers get 3 to 4 matches for sure. I don't think Rohit is getting dropped. So I'm hoping Mayank Agarwal gets all 5 games to himself.
Okay. And if India needs to pick 6th batsman, so who will be 6th batsman, KL Rahul or Hanuma Vihari?
It really depends on the form the 3, 4, 5 are in. So if I want somebody who I want to hold an end and take enough time and just just bad time, I'll probably take Hanuman Vihari. But if if the 3-4-5 are doing enough of that holding job, and I want somebody to score along with Pant, then I'll take KL Rahul in the side. But you already have Jadeja there, and you will definitely need 4 bowlers for sure. So I don't know if they should go in with 6 batsmen. You have to back your strengths, obviously. So, but I think that will be the scenario that if they don't think the top order is spending enough time versus the new ball and the middle order is getting exposed, आपका 3-4-5 आपका 4-5-6 इतना कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा, क्योंकि अगर if they are facing the new ball, it is trouble. That's as simple as that.
Okay. So I have asked last time भी मैंने आपसे पूछा था कि अजिंक्य रहाणे नंबर 6 या नंबर 5, क्योंकि अब नई WTC साइकिल शुरू हो रही है. So do you think that Rishabh Pant should bat at number 5 and Ajinkya at number 6?
I think Rahane will start at 5. There is no doubt about it. But I will not be surprised if they swap them around depending on the situation. So if India have a really good start, they are much ahead, hopefully 200 odd for 1 or 2 someday. So if then they lose a wicket, then they can probably send in Pant as well. But I still think it's a very far-fetched idea. It is going to be depending on conditions only. But Rahane will start at 5 and Pant will come after.
Okay. Now talking about England sides, they have recalled Jonny Bairstow. पर मेरे को समझ नहीं आ रहा है कि जॉनी बेस्ट्रो का रोल क्या होने वाला है इस बार भी, क्योंकि जब वो लास्ट टाइम खेले थे तब भी रन नहीं बनाया, उसके पहले भी रन नहीं बनाया. जिस तरह से 2016 में खेलते थे उस तरह से जॉनी बेस्ट्रो अब नहीं खेलते हैं. तो क्या जॉनी बेस्ट्रो को 100 ही खेलने देते और एक्सपेक्ट करते हैं कि वर्ल्ड कप ही जिताएंगे, हमें T20 टेस्ट क्रिकेट में लाके उन्हें डिस्टर्ब करने से अच्छा है कि
हाँ, आइडियली मैं खुद भी चाहता एज ए 100 व्यूअर कि अगर जॉनी बेस्ट्रो 100 खेलते तो ज्यादा मजा था. पर आई थिंक बेस्ट्रो को खुद wants to play test cricket, and but what will be very irritating for him is if he's picked in the squad and he's not playing, क्योंकि then he's not helping the test side and उनकी 100 side भी उनको गाने देंगी कि भाई आप क्यों हमारे बेस्ट बैट्समैन को लेके गए अगर उनको सिर्फ ड्रिंक्स करने के लिए लेके जाना था. तो coming to his batting form, obviously उनका रेड बॉल फॉर्म इतना अच्छा नहीं है because he's focused a lot more on the white ball cricket का form, which is exactly how England has been, जहाँ पे they have preferred having their full strength sides for the white ball formats and resting a lot of their players for the red ball format. So it's going to be tough to see how they fit in Bairstow in that lineup, because you have enough. The top three the top three is not going to change. आपके पास Butler, Stokes हैं, and then you will obviously play Butler. So it depends. और आपके पास Sam Curran भी है, Moeen Ali. England have a lot of options. So maybe he is the backup keeper, and if they think Butler, who's just coming back from an injury, if he's not at his best and they want a backup, then obviously Jonny Bairstow should be in the squad. But hopefully he's not carrying drinks. अगर drinks carry कर रहे तो उनको release कर देना squad से, so that he can play the 100.
Okay. There is Haseeb Hamid also. Will he get a chance in first test match or he has to wait?
Not sure. England will want to back. England will want to back their batting lineup that has come into the series. So I don't see Sibley or Crawley or Burns getting dropped, because both Burns and Sibley got a few runs recently. Crawley ने भी एक inning अच्छी खेली थी, and then you have Root. So I don't see the top three changing very just at the start of the test series. Obviously, if they have a very poor run where they don't score anything and they get out every single time in single digits at home consecutively, so then we might see somebody coming in who's in form, because Hamid did well in the intra game as well. So only then I think, but they are playing at home, you will want to back your players at your home. अगर मैं मयंक अग्रवाल को 5 टेस्ट देने के लिए रेडी हूँ, तो obviously England management will want Burns and Sibley and Crawley to play all the 5 games.
Okay. And Oli Robinson is there. Will he get a chance?
I think he will, because 5 tests they will try and rotate the players as well. So you'll probably have both Anderson Broad will play at Nottingham, obviously. That's his home ground. So Anderson Broad, Mark Wood, and you should definitely have one more pacer is what they'll want, depending on how many overs Ben Stokes is ready to bowl. So I think Robinson will get a chance to play.
Okay. So now moving on to our last question. I want to know your prediction for this series. Is India winning this time?
I would love to see that happening, but it could be the series result is likely to be 2-1. Hopefully in India's favor and not in England's favor.
Okay. So thanks a lot, Nikhil, for joining me. It was fantastic having you between all those network issues, but you cooperated with me. So thanks a lot for joining.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm looking forward to doing more of this.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.